Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is Jessica and I might look a little bit different to you right now because I'm coming at you barefaced and with wet hair. I just came out of the shower. I'm gonna do a get ready with me video today where I'm going to be discussing my skincare journey and also my decision to start taking an Accutane treatment. So if you're interested in watching me get ready and hearing about my skin journey, please stay tuned. I'm gonna start with getting my moisturizer on. This is the most important part about my Accutane treatment so far, is just keeping moisturized. I'm trying to keep any dryness at bay. If you know anything about Accutane, you know that it really dries out pretty much every part of your body. So I'm gonna go in with the CeraVe moisturizing cream. This is what I use every morning and every night as my moisturizer before and after starting Accutane. I get a very generous amount and just get that all over my face and I really let it soak in. I might as well get started. Oh gosh. Get my hair out of the way. So I'm sorry I'm coming at you with wet hair today, but this is how I normally get ready. This is a very accurate depiction. I'm just getting ready as I normally do, but on camera. I'm trying not to use a lot of heat on my hair. I let it air dry most days because I am bleaching it. As you can probably tell, it has gone quite blonde over the past couple of months and I'm loving it. I love being blonde. I feel most like myself as a blonde. I grew up with like dirty blonde hair and now it's gotten quite dark as I've gotten older, but I'm having fun with this blonde journey. So I'm just gonna let it air dry while I get ready. And then maybe put a little cool layer on at the end to just get it a little bit more refined. That's typically how I do my hair. I'm gonna let that soak in for just a minute and then I'll go in with my sunscreen. I'm using the Elta MD sunscreen. This is a mineral-based sunscreen. It's expensive, but I love it. It does not leave a white cast. It's about, what, like $35 for a bottle, and a bottle lasts me a month. I've really been enjoying it. I've bought it over and over and over again. So I'm just gonna layer that. Oh gosh, it looks really white. It will sink in and I am quite generous with it. Okay, so there you have my SPF and moisturizer on. I go a little bit more than I normally would, again, because of this dryness I'm experiencing. I'm also gonna put on some of my lip balm. This is a very nourishing lip balm from Pure Lease. I'm trying to empty it all year. It's getting pretty close. The lips are the worst part so far, I'm telling you. So as of today, I am 3 weeks into my Accutane treatment. I think my dermatologist recommended a 6-month treatment, which is pretty standard for most people who take this medication. So this is where my skin is at today. Now you can see I have a lot of acne scarring on my cheeks. I have a current one on my chin, a small one here, and a lot of scarring here. This is like a broken blood vessel, not an acne scar. My forehead's not too bad. Most of my acne scarring is all concentrated on my cheek, which is where I've been having the terrible breakouts. So you might be thinking that an Accutane treatment is pretty extreme for what you're seeing on my skin today, but this is not a representation of where my skin has been. During my 20s and 30s, I've been going through adult acne periodically, sometimes worse than others, of course. In my 20s, it was really bad when I was working in a bar and like doing dishes all night in this like dirty environment, and like the steam would like let all the stuff into my face from the dishwasher. If you know, you know. But I just had really bad acne when I was in my mid-20s. I actually went on a proactive regimen and that helped a lot to clear up my skin. But since then, after, I was only on proactive for maybe a year. And then since then, I've just been keeping up with a normal skincare routine, like, mixing in acids and making sure I'm moisturizing. And I started using a retinoid a few years ago, which has been really helpful with clearing up some of the scarring. I mean, the scarring isn't even as bad as it was. But in the past year, basically since I replaced my hormonal IUD, I've been having terrible hormonal breakouts all along this area of my face. And I'll insert a picture right here about what's been going on my skin. This is like the worst of the worst. When I ultimately called my doctor and said, we need to do something about this, like I need to go on a medication. This is not okay. I was getting cysts that were very large, very painful, welling below the surface of my skin for weeks and weeks before they would come to the surface. They were so swollen that they would disfigure my face. Like if you can look closely in this picture, you can see the entire right side of my face is very swollen and misshapen, completely different from the other side of my face. And so I was also in so much pain. I had like 5 or 6 cystic zits all coming up at the same time. And the swelling was going down into my neck and into my throat. And I thought I might have like some kind of like serious infection in my skin or something. I just put on my primer from NYX. This is their Plump Right Back Primer with electrolytes. And I really, really like it. It really does plump up the skin and make it feel nice and ready for makeup. I just wet my sponge. This is one from, what is it called? AOA, or those cheap ones from Amazon. I'm also going in with my foundation. This is the Flower Beauty Light Illusion foundation that I am working on panning right now. Getting very close, but it still feels like the end is not in sight. I know it's in sight logically, as long as I've been getting accurate weights on it, but I don't know if it just seems farther away than it is. So I'm just gonna go in with my sponge. I was using a retinoid every night, and that was definitely helping my zits that I did get to heal faster. I would still get the regular zits, but they would resolve themselves pretty quickly, and that was fine. But then I just kept getting every month these hormonal zits. It must have, been in line with my cycle, of course. I don't have a normal period because of the birth control I'm on, but I thought because they were happening every 28 days, obviously 1 and 1 is 2, and that has to do with my monthly cycle. So every single month I was getting these cystic zits all over my jaw and chin, and not only were they painful, they were very disfiguring and would make my entire face swell. And I'm fine with covering up a zit here and there, no big deal. I obviously wear makeup, so I'm no stranger to covering acne. I've gotten pretty darn good at it over the years, but these were just beyond coverage. They were, again, I could hardly swallow on this side. It was painful to move. It was painful to speak. One time my whole lip swelled up and half of my lip was bigger than the other side. So, I just got to a point where I said, this is too much. I need some serious medication. I can't be continuing to deal with this into my later mid-30s. I am 36, and I just don't want to be going through the rest of my 30s with these painful breakouts every single month. So I called the doctor, they got me in, and we discussed my options. Next, I'm going in with a concealer. This is the Born This Way concealer. Really like this, it's great coverage. I'm using my camera as a viewfinder today, so don't mind me. So I've had a few friends who have found success using a medication called, I might be butchering this, spironolactone, but it is a medication that I think is originally for blood pressure control or something like that, but they found that had amazing effects with hormonal acne and just keeping those hormones in balance and keeping hormonal acne at bay. So a lot of women have had success with this, and a few of my friends have tried it and also had good success in just really calming down their monthly breakouts. So I talked to my doctor about this first. This was my first option. And he asked me about some family history of breast cancer in my family. And unfortunately, both grandmothers on either side both have a history of breast cancer in my family. My doctor said that this particular drug can increase your chances of getting breast cancer, so they don't recommend it for people with a family history. So where does that leave me? Basically, the doctor said your next best option is to try Accutane. Now, this was never something that I was considering doing. My sister actually went through a round of it years ago, probably about a decade ago, and she had really bad chest acne and back acne, and she had great success with Accutane. She said that it was totally worth it, that it changed her skin. I was definitely on the fence about trying this medication. It has a huge amount of possible side effects. It also has very serious consequences. If you get pregnant, it can cause birth defects. So they have a very strict way of doling out this medication. You have to sign up for a special program called iPledge, where you basically have to take a quiz of your knowledge of the side effects of this medication. And you have to do a monthly pregnancy test, and you have to do a monthly blood test to make sure that your blood levels are within normal range. Yeah, it's some serious stuff, and not necessarily the kind of thing I was in a hurry to go and do. But I, again, was at my wit's end. I didn't want to deal with this every month of my life, or at least my foreseeable young life. And I decided, after talking to some friends and family and my doctor, of course, to go ahead and take the leap and start on this medication. I'm going to take my powder. This is from number 7. This is their Lift and Illuminate Triple Action Powder in light medium. And I do have a nice pan in there. Hey. So I just use this under my eyes. It's a great setting powder. It's very fine. Has a nice kind of satin finish to it. I feel like it sits very nicely. on my under eye. And I also put this on my T-zone, nose, forehead, and on top of my lids. Now I'm gonna go in with my loose powder. This is Coty Airspun. This is the shade Translucent, and I'm just going to dust this over the rest of my face just to set myself really nicely. I actually still have the powder puff in here, so I'll kind of just like dust off the remainder of the powder puff and kind of press that into my forehead and along my chin. This really helps my makeup to last. I know people hate the smell, but it doesn't bother me. It actually reminds me of like my mom. She always had this sitting on her bathroom vanity when I was a girl. My grandma used it, and I like that. I like old, nostalgic, vintagey things. Oh, I forgot to use my cream bronzer. Oh, I hate when I do that. I'm just so excited. I forgot to do that. Whatever. All right, so that's my base. You can see like not everything's covered, but that's fine with me. As long as I get like things pretty even, I'm happy with that. Go in with my bronzer that I'm working on, panning. I'm so close to finishing. Look at that. It's kind of hard to get it from the sides. I could repress it, I know, but I'm a stubborn little bee, so I'm not going to right now. I'm gonna see how far I can get. I really don't like repressing until I have to. It's just a thing about me. So I'm really swirling in there to get everything. So I've now been on this medication for going on, it's been almost 4 weeks. It's been like 3.5 weeks. And so far, so good. No major side effects. I obviously am starting to feel a little bit of dryness in my lips and in my skin. Nothing too crazy. I just really am trying to be on top of it. I'm lathering up the moisturizer and the oils every night. And again, layering those moisturizers and sunscreens in the morning. I'm using more moisturizing. Well, my foundation I'm using is pretty moisturizing. My primer is a nice little moisturizer. So just all layered together, you know. I'm going through a lot of chapstick. This is a great opportunity for me to pan my chapstick collection, which I've already kind of been doing over the past couple of years on the side without really telling anyone about it. I mean, who really cares about panning chapstick? But you know, you just have like so many chapsticks. So I'm really starting to work through them and it feels really good. I've also been using Vaseline at night just as like a extra sealant on top of my regular moisturizer. I just dab it a little bit around my eyes and around my nose and then like around my lips. And it really helps to lock in that moisture overnight. You're supposed to drink a ton of water when you're on this medication, obviously, because of how drying it is. This medication can also cause night blindness, which sounds a lot more serious than it is. It basically just makes seeing at night a little bit blurry, a little bit more difficult. Going in with this highlighter and my Tarte's Pro Glow palette. This is Lit. It's not too severe. Like I haven't really been driving or had the need to drive at night recently, so that's good. I'm a little bit nervous about the winter time coming up and it getting dark so early. That might become an issue. I definitely want to be careful with that. But I've noticed that like when I'm reading at night or like working on my phone or computer at night, that it just feels like a little blurred. It feels like I have to focus my eyes a little bit more than I normally would. Maybe my eyesight is just going in general. I mean, I've been needing glasses, like at least driving glasses, according to my ophthalmologist for a year or two. I just haven't gotten around to getting it yet. But I do love glasses. Like I don't mind wearing glasses. I think they're very fashionable. Going in with this blush. Which one do I want to use today? I think I'm going to go with this one. I'm trying to like use these like more coral tones during these last few warm days that we have in this year. I mean, hopefully the last few days. It was 90 degrees all last week and it's 80 degrees today. It'll be 80 all next week. And then finally, I think the week after that, like 10 days from now, dropping down into the 70s. Finally. Oh my gosh. Planet is burning, people. I brought this into my deck of panning. I'm trying to use each shade 10 times and it has been such a fun challenge. I'm so happy to have this out and to be reaching for it. It makes me glad. I just love blush. I put it all over my nose, on my lids. I even do just a little on my, kind of over my bronzer, where my bronzer meets in the middle. I'm gonna brush my brows. So yeah, I would say that in the past 3 weeks of being on this medication, my women's monthly time has come and gone, and I did not get a severe cystic breakout for the first time in probably a year, which, hey, I think that bodes pretty well, right? I mean, the first month of this medication, I'm already seeing that really bad breakout disappearing. So I'm hoping that that will still be the case. They've said that with Accutane, it can get better before it gets worse. So far, it has not gotten worse. Hopefully, that will not be the case for me. And because my particular case of acne is not super severe, you know, like just looking at me at a glance, you think, wow, she has really nice skin. You don't really like see it or notice it, but like underneath, you can feel it. Like I have cysts still beneath my skin. I can like pinch them and feel them right now that are just like always there. It takes them months to heal. Going in with my Hourglass Diffuse Lighting Powder in, what is, I always forget what this one is. Yeah, it's Diffuse Light. Ambient lighting powder in diffused light. But yeah, I'm hoping that maybe I won't even need to go through the full 6 months. I don't know if that's the case. I think that with Accutane, you have to kind of go through the whole round of treatment for it to be as effective as it could be. With Accutane, you have to be really careful, like I said, with getting pregnant. You need to use 2 forms of birth control at all times. It's also very hard on your liver and on your body in general. So you cannot drink any alcohol when you are on this medication. Or at least you're not supposed to. It's already hard on your liver to process the medication, so anything on top of that is just overworking your liver, and obviously that is not a good thing to do. So I'm gonna go in with this brow gel from NYX. I love this. This is the Tinted Brow Mascara. I use the shade Brunette. This is my favorite drugstore brow mascara that I have yet to find. If you have another one you like, let me know. I know they have one from Essence that's even cheaper. I didn't like that one, personally. I think I also just didn't get the best color, but something about this one, I feel like it just works so much better. I'm not really a huge drinker as it is. My husband doesn't drink. So as a result, I rarely drink at home. Sometimes I will have a few drinks when I'm out with friends or share a bottle of wine with a girlfriend. But that's basically the extent of my drinking these days. You know, obviously in my 20s, I partook a little bit more, a lot bit more. I was going out a lot. I love to have a good time, you know. But yeah, these days, you know, in my 30s, it's just not worth it anymore. The hangovers are miserable. If I just have one drink too many, like more than 2 basically, I feel terrible the next day. And I can't really do anything that I want to do because I feel so sick. So that's just not worth it. So I'm not really missing it that much. I'm not really too upset about it. I'm going to go in with this shade here. This is from the L'Oreal Quad. This is the Avant-Garde Azure palette. And this is shade number 3. It's part of my Pan Those eyeshadows. I don't even know what I'm going to do today with my eyeshadow look. We'll just see how this goes. I'm just going to start by putting it all over the lid. I mean, that's basically all I want to tell you about my Accutane treatment. You know, I just wanted to tell you why I'm doing it and show you what my skin is like today. And hopefully in 6 months, it will be looking even better than it is now with no more giant cysts coming up into my life for the foreseeable future. I think with Accutane, it has a pretty lasting effect. Like you'll still get the random breakouts here and there, but it really does change your skin. I mean, I'm not a doctor. I don't know the science behind this exactly, but it basically dries up a lot of your oil glands in your pores, which, you know, sounds really drastic, and it is, but, you know, those will basically, oh, butter. He's upset he wants to go outside. Danny's outside. It basically helps to slow down oil production in your pores, which then, you know, leads to breakouts. Hi, Bumpy. Come say hi. I know. I'm going to pair this blue with a gold today, I think. That'll be fun. So yeah, I'm not going to do like regular Accutane updates or anything. I might do like one final video at the end of my treatment just to let you know how it went, what my worst side effects that I experienced were, you know, the final results, how my skin looks after the treatment is over, and all that. Just a quick disclaimer as well. I'm not a doctor. I'm not recommending anybody to go get Accutane. I talked to my dermatologist about this. This is what he suggested. This is after, you know, going through a few other options like the retinoid, ruling out my option for spironolactone, however you say it. Hi, baby. And really using this as a last resort because it is a serious thing. It's not just like you're taking a vitamin every day. This is a very serious medication that you need to be monitored closely by a doctor while taking. Okay, so there's a little blue, a lot of blue. Where do we go from here? It's a Sunday while I'm doing this. I love Sundays. They're probably my favorite day of the week. The only worst part about Sunday is that the next day is Monday, right? But I really use Sundays as like self-care days. Today, I have a whole to-do list of things I'm trying to accomplish. One of them is to film a video. So here we are. And I've been wanting to share about Accutane thought it was a good time to do so. I'm also folding laundry today. I watered my plants. I'm going to I read my book this morning. I'm going to listen to my audiobook. I'm going to decorate for Halloween. I'm going to work on my Halloween costume. I'm gonna go in with this navy color and just deepen it up a little bit. In other news, I got a lizard. I adopted a bearded dragon for my classroom, for my science lab at work. And I wasn't intending to get a bearded dragon. I was really looking for a tarantula for my classroom because I'm into spiders, people. I really like cool animals that other people normally are icked out by, like snakes, spiders, and lizards. So I was also looking at leopard geckos just because they're so cute and pretty. But I saw this bearded dragon up for adoption on Nextdoor in my neighborhood. I contacted the family. She was very excited to hear about, my intention on having him in my classroom and having my students help take care of him. And now he is mine. And so I will insert a little video of him here. You can see him running around or probably just laying around. That's what he typically does. He's a lazy lizard, true to his lizard reputation. His name is Bill Nye, the lizard guy, after my favorite scientist, Bill Nye. And he's just a hit. Everyone loves him. My students are obsessed. Danny's obsessed. He loves Danny, of course, more than me, just like butter. So, he's just fitting in right perfectly with the family. He's going to live in my classroom most of the time, but this weekend he's here with us. Danny wanted to meet him, and I wanted to make sure he wasn't too lonely. And I definitely intend to have my students help me take care of him over weekends and breaks and stuff. We'll see. I have to kind of work out how it's going to work, but very excited about that. Also getting ready for Halloween. If you all don't know, I am a huge Halloweenophile. I'm obsessed with Halloween. I love dressing up, especially doing fun Halloween makeup looks. I'll insert a couple Halloween makeup looks from the past couple years. This year is going to be really exciting too. Me and my friends love to go to Disneyland for Halloween. We go to the Oogie Boogie Bash every year that they do. It's their special Halloween party, and it has special characters and trick-or-treat trails and special parade and just spooky decorations and all sorts of fun stuff. I know it sounds really juvenile, but I will admit I am a Disney adult, fully Disney adult, out and proud. I've been to Disneyland many, many times. Many millennials like myself have just grown up with the nostalgia of Disney, and to this day, in this crazy world, it makes me happy and gives me joy. So I just embrace it. Me and my friends really have a great time there. Disney is not just for kids. If you've been there recently, but a lot of people just have this idea in their minds of what Disneyland is, and they've never really been there or spent a lot of time there, or haven't been since they were a child. It's also changed a lot in the past couple decades, I think, and really is geared a lot towards adult entertainment. That's a huge part of their revenue source. So, obviously that's the smart thing for Disney to do. And we all know Disney knows how to make money, All right, I think I'm just going to top that with the gold shade. I'm not going to go too much into this because I don't want this video to go on and on forever and ever. I could sit here and fiddle all day. You know how it is. I'm sure you understand what I'm talking about. Some days it takes me 10 minutes to do my makeup. Other days it could take me 2 hours. It just depends on the mood I'm in, how much time I have, and how much I want to play that day. I'm going with Alloy. This is another shade from my Pan Those eyeshadows. I use my finger with this shade. Oh my gosh, I'm really trying to hit pan on this, but I don't know. It might be the pan that never comes. And it's all over the inner part of the lid. I'm hoping that it doesn't make the blue look too green. I kind of have to be careful with it. Oh, if you hear the banging going on, that's my husband outside working out. He has his own little gym set up in our little back patio, and he's lifting some weights right now. That's how he stays so muscular, Can't relate. I've never been muscular in my life. I'm strong, but my muscles are very well padded, if you know what I mean. It's just how my body has always been. So I can hate myself for it, or I can just accept it. Topping that with the gold. I don't love how this looks. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Sometimes this happens, you try something and it just doesn't quite work out. Well, it's just makeup. Not a big deal. I don't hate it. It's fine. It's fine. I'm going to go on the lower lash with some of that glitter as well. Didn't use a glitter glue. That's so unlike me. I'm just going to dab a little bit of the NYX glitter glue along my lower lash. I'm just feeling this. I do it by feel, people. Back to Disneyland, or in Halloween, me and my friends always go, like I said, the first year we went, we did a Disney villains theme. We always do a theme together, so I'll put a picture of our Disney villains outfits here. That was a really fun one. Then the following year, we were inspired to do Tim Burton theme, being an Oogie Boogie Bash. You know, Tim Burton did The Nightmare Before Christmas, so we all did Tim Burton characters. I was Beetlejuice, my husband was Beetlejuice, and we also had a third Beetlejuice. So we were Beetlejuice, 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 very fun. And then last year was like our crowning achievement. We were all birds from the Tiki Room. It's a Walt Disney original attraction. It's like a tiki room filled with animatronic singing birds. And I'm really into birds, if you didn't know. So that was so fun. We were all birds from the Tiki Room. We even had the nameplates and everything. So I will link that picture here as well. Probably several of them. We're very proud of this costume, and we got literal applause from the cast members at Disneyland, which just felt so satisfying and good and so fun. And this year we are all doing Alice in Wonderland as our theme. So we've got the whole cast of characters, or close to the whole cast of characters, that will be running amok at California Adventure for Oogie Boogie Bash in just 10 days from today. Hooray, I can't wait. It's gonna be so fun. And you know I will be including pictures of that as well, probably in a video. If you're interested in seeing a video on our Halloween adventure and see all of our makeup and costumes and our whole group together as Alice in Wonderland, let me know, and maybe I'll make a little video or vlog or something for you all to share the Halloween fun on my channel. Just going in a little bit more with that blue. Going over that gold a little bit. And going back in with the navy, just a little bit more. And for good measure, one more tap of the gold shade alloy. I feel like pan is getting very close in this shade. It's hard to tell because I'm using my finger, so it's all very flat. But I feel like when I do hit pan on that, it's going to be very satisfying. Okay, so there's my eye look so far. I'm gonna go off camera, add the liner and mascara so you know it'll look better. We'll be right back after that. All right, so I just applied the NYX Epic Ink Liner, one of my faves, and this is the IT Cosmetic Superhero Mascara, also a favorite, but you know, I only buy it on sale. Quickly gonna go in with a liner brush and just fill in my eyebrows. I'm gonna use shades from my Pan That palette, mixing Cypress Umber and Warm Taupe right here. And that works really well in my brows these days. I'm trying to get more use on this. And now that I finally finished that brow pomade, I can feel happy about reaching for something other than that for my brows. This is typically how I like to do my eyebrows, by first putting the brow mascara in and then just adding a little bit of fill-in where I feel like I need it. I mean, I really could do without it. This is an extra step, especially for just like a regular day, but that's okay. I love a bold brow. And I'm also painting this palette, so hey, it's a great excuse to use it. All right, I think we're gonna call that good. Sisters, not twins, right? To remind myself of that sometimes when I'm getting out of control. For my lips, I'm using this cream lipstick from L'Oreal. This is the L'Oreal Infallible Cream Lipstick. I don't remember the exact name because it's been worn off. I've had this for a couple years and I'm working on just using it as much as I can before the year is up. Definitely decluttering it before my January inventory. I still have that lip balm on. It's mostly settled in, but my lips still feel really dry. So this thing's pretty moisturizing. That's why I've been reaching for it. And I also just need to use it before this year is up and get rid of it. And I love this color. Just haven't been able to declutter these because I love the formula. They don't make this one anymore. I wish they did because I would repurchase it. Here's my crying boy. He's had a really rough day. This is his day off, you know? I'm also gonna add this nude eye pencil that I'm panning. This is from Rimmel, the Scandalize. In nude, of course. This thing does not come off very easily. I really have to warm this product up before it transfers well. I don't even know how much this does, but hey, we'll see how this panning journey goes. I might not pan it all the way. Danny is being very noisy. Danny. Someone asked for a hair routine, and I don't even know if I can deliver that because this is basically what I do. I put in a conditioning mask, let it sit for a good 5-10 minutes in the shower, rinse it out, let my hair air dry as much as possible, prevent any heat damage. And I just discovered this. I got this as a sample. This is the Verb Ghost Oil. It's all over my hands. And I've been looking for something like this for years. I used to use the BioSilk oil, but I feel like it was just too expensive for what it was. And so I found this. I got this as a free sample from Ulta, I believe. No, maybe from Sephora. And I love it. It's such a great, like, moisturizing serum. It really helps to smooth any split ends and just makes my hair look a little shiny and smooth. So I put that in. I'm not going to dry my hair for you, but I will put in some earrings because I just feel naked without earrings. And I'm ready for the day. So there's the look I came up with today. I'll give you a little up close look at it. I don't know, we were just playing around and chatting about Accutane and my skin journey. I hope you enjoyed this video today. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Let me know if you've ever done Accutane or if you have any tips for me. I'd really appreciate hearing all about it. If you'd like to hear more about my journey on this medication, let me know in the comments and I will definitely update you on how it goes. If not at the very end, maybe in the middle. We'll do like a little mid check-in if there's interest. You let me know. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe and stick around. I have lots of fun content coming up for you soon. I hope you're doing really well and I cannot wait to see you in my next update. Bye!